Say good night to the bad guy.
Hi everyone and welcome to my new video. Today I want to share with you my top 20 best defensemen in the NHL. I also want to say that this is my personal point of view. Everybody has their own point of view. Either you agree or disagree with me, do it with respect. So first off, let's begin with the 20 defensemen on my list. I think the first overall pick in 2018, Rasmus Dahlin, deserves this spot. He is already a solid guy at his age and will continue to be better season after season. Let's continue with the 19th defenseman on my list, and it is Ryan Suter. I feel like over the years, people are forgetting how good this guy is even at the age of 35 years old. Known for being real good on the defensive zone, this guy can play on the PP and gets his share of points. And he plays so much minutes year after year, and many minutes played is a great indicator of how good a D-man is, even more if the team has already a solid decor. So he is definitely in my top 20. At the position 18, I got Zach Werenski, a defenseman that is getting established more and more in the league. Great year with most amount of goals by a defenseman with 20 in only 63 games. Pretty impressive. Jackets are a lucky team to have him and Seth Jones. Coming up at number 17, I got Jacob Slavin, a guy that a ton of people still underestimate. Some might say that I do underestimate him too, but I believe that having him at number 17 is quite fair in my opinion. At number 16, I'm going to go with Morgan Riley. He had a little bit of a down year last year with his injury, but for me is one of the best defensemen right now, and I wouldn't hesitate to pick him up next year for my hockey pool. He does normally does a lot of points. Now, hear me out. I'm not a fan of the playing style of the next one at 15. I think he's still capable to be real good in at the NHL level. And the guy that I'm talking about is Erik Karlsson. When this guy is in his element, he is unstoppable. And the reason why I think he is the best defenseman on the Sharks roster is because I don't see Burns coming back to what he was a couple of years ago due to his age, his shape, his offensive playing style. He is on the decline, and he is bad defensively. Injuries have slowed down Erik Karlsson, but he's still a big threat on the power play. Coming up at number 14. The next one is Shea Weber. He is not what he used to be back in 2012, but he's still one of the best in the league. He just had a big year with the Abs recently with 15 goals and 21 assists for 36 points in 65 games, and still possesses his little cannon of a shot. He can play 25 minutes a game, great on the PK, and blocks a lot of shot too. He is personally one of my favorites players in the league. So I believe he still has a spot on the top 20. We're now already at number 13. It is going to be Dougie Hamilton for me. By watching his stats, I noticed his time on ice has increased by 4 minutes, which is a lot, going from 19 minutes played per game to 23. He is a guy with a potential to score not less than 20 goals a year, and his game has been getting much better. Being very offensive, he needs to be constant and keep up his number to be included in my top 20 next year. Not saying having an 80-point year, but something around 55 to 60. At 12, I got John Klingberg, great defenseman. Nothing really much to say about him. He played really well and during the offseason for the Dallas Stars, putting up 21 points in 24 games. Great guy. The next defenseman on the list is Thomas Chabot. He is the quarterback with the Sens and soon will put up so many points due to the rebuild that we are seeing in Ottawa. I project that he will be in the top 10, in my top 10, sooner than later. He played an impressive amount of minutes per game, and I tell you guys, when the rebuild of the Sens will be complete, this guy is going to put so many points on the board. Entering the top 10, I got defenseman Drew Doughty on the list. Great career. He lost some spot over the years on my list, and there's many criticism on him right now, but I believe that people are too critical, and he is not as bad as everyone pretends in 2020. The LA Kings aren't doing so good too, so his stats are not great as it was, but he is reliable on defense, so we'll be in the top 10, but not by so much. Following up, I put Quinn Hughes as the ninth defenseman on the list. Young prodigy for the Canucks. I was hoping my team Montreal would draft him at third overall in 2018. I am still happy with Kotkaniemi, but it will have settled down immediately. Our defense on the left side. Kid has so many good years in front of him with a young Canucks team. At number 8, a defenseman that I really enjoyed watching play, Miro Eskinen. I would have liked to come higher, but the competition is getting intense. This guy exploded during the playoffs and was a key player for the Stars. Next guy at 7th is Shea Theodore, another one like Eskinen who stepped up his game during the playoffs, and now having a guy like Pietrangelo next year with him to play, and he's gonna learn from Pietrangelo. It's gonna be insane. Coming up at number 6, we have Cale Makar, another young player. We can clearly see the new wave coming into the NHL of young defensemen, like all those I have named in my top 20. And we often compare Makar and Quinn Hughes, but one thing I like a little bit more on Makar's part is that he is more involved physically than Quinn. He got 45 hits in 57 games. In comparison to Hughes, he only had 7 hits in 68 games last year. The first guy in my top 5 is a guy that got paid in the offseason, and that guy is Alex Pietrangelo. Can't wait to see him in Vegas in 2021. That team got a great option for the Stanley Cup. Following up, I got Seth Jones at 4th. Still too much underrated for some people. This guy is probably going to be nominated for a Norris in the next 5 years, and maybe won a Norris. Who knows? Great defenseman and one of my favorite. I think he should be in the top 10 of every person. At third, at number 3, I am the biggest fan of John Carson. Like I said with Erik Karlsson, I'm not that much into offensive defensemen, but I couldn't not put John Carson with the year he just had lower than number 3. The guy just put more points than games played this year. He's so great offensively. So finally, the last 2 defensemen on my list. At second, I have Roman Josi. Is a terrific two-way defenseman with great leadership abilities. I think Shea Weber played a great role of modeling him. And at first, you guessed it, it is Victor Hedman, the best defenseman in the NHL as of now. Most of you will agree with me on that. If not, please let me know in the comment section below so we could discuss politely about it. As of every other defenseman on my list, if you think some should have been on the list or some should have not. I have to tell you guys before I finish the video that I have some honorable mentions. These honorable mentions are Brent Burns, Ivan Provorov, Chris Letang, Mark Giordano, Charlie McAvoy, and Jared Spurgeon. So thank you guys for watching. You can like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to help me grow my channel. See you in the next one.